Folks, the DCEU is one of the most volatile and messy cinematic universes out there. If you're planning to watch movies like Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, and Justice League, I have to tell you that watching them in release order is the biggest mistake. You'll mess up the timeline and miss critical plot points. Today, I'm giving you the most complete and logical viewing order so you can follow the entire DCEU history without getting confused. We're going to find out why you need to watch Wonder Woman first. But the real reason the DCEU films got so chaotic is something I'll tell you at the very end of the video. Let's go clean up this mess. Wonder Woman. This movie is the true starting point for the DCEU's timeline, taking you to the hidden island of Themyscira and the world of the Amazons. The story begins amidst World War I, when a pilot named Steve Trevor crash lands on the island and convinces Diana Prince to come to the world of men to end the war. This film is a powerful, inspiring origin story that shows how Diana became the symbol of hope and truth. Wonder Woman beautifully depicts the contrast between Diana's idealism and the harsh reality of war, climaxing in her first major battle with Ares, the god of war. The importance of this film is that it explains why Wonder Woman operated in the shadows for decades. Wonder Woman 1984. This film continues Diana Prince's story, taking you to the 1980s where Diana is working undercover in Washington, D.C. The plot revolves around a mysterious ancient artifact called the Dreamstone, which can grant anyone's wish, but at a horrific cost. This movie features the unexpected return of Steve Trevor, Diana's greatest wish. Wonder Woman 1984 is a colorful, fantastical story that focuses primarily on the moral lesson of truth and the consequences of our desires. Although critically weaker, it successfully shows Diana's human and vulnerable side. Man of Steel. This film is considered the birthpoint of the DC Extended Universe, narrating the serious and dark origin story of Superman, Clark Kent, or Kal-El. The film opens with the destruction of the planet Krypton and shows flashbacks of Clark's childhood attempts to control his powers and stay hidden. The main plot kicks off when General Zod, Krypton's military leader, arrives on Earth searching for Superman and demands his surrender to revive the Kryptonian race. With massive battles and widespread city destruction, this film portrays Superman's large-scale fights, establishing the serious and realistic tone of the DCEU from the very start. Man of Steel initiates a big discussion about the consequences of superpowers and the hero's responsibility to the world. Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. This film is the dramatic turning point and introduces the other two main pillars of the DCEU: Batman, Bruce Wayne, and Wonder Woman, Diana Prince. The story deals with the massive repercussions of the destruction in Man of Steel. Batman, terrified by Superman's actions, seeks a way to neutralize or destroy him, viewing him as an existential threat to humanity. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor, with his sinister schemes, incites these two heroes against each other and sets the stage for the creation of the destructive creature known as Doomsday. BVS puts the Holy Trinity side by side for the first time and features important but brief scenes of other future Justice League members: Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg. This film acts as a dark and expansive prelude to Justice League.
Suicide Squad, 2016. Chronologically, this movie takes place immediately after the events of Batman v Superman, when the U.S. government and the Argus organization, led by Amanda Waller, decide to form a secret operational team. This team, comprised of dangerous, incarcerated supervillains known as Task Force X, is employed for impossible and extremely high-risk missions. Suicide Squad introduced popular characters like Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, and Killer Croc. The story begins when the team is forced to confront a supernatural threat called the Enchantress. Although the movie has a chaotic and different tone, it expands the darker criminal world of the DCEU and is the first film to place Harley Quinn center stage. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Often known as the Snyder Cut, this is the director's original 4-hour cut of Justice League that was released years later. This version not only fixes all the flaws of the 2017 theatrical cut, but fully restores the narrative depth, epic tone, and visual coherence intended by Zack Snyder. The story fully explores the motivations of Steppenwolf and the presence of key characters like Darkseid and the Mother Boxes, while expanding the origin stories and backstories of Cyborg and the Flash. This film is a massive, epic cinematic event that shows the full battle of the Justice League and is considered the end of Snyder's 3-part vision for the DCEU, making it vital for complete understanding. Aquaman. This film is a massive fantasy epic that takes place immediately after the events of Justice League, focusing on the life story of Arthur Curry, Aquaman, who is half human and half Atlantean, must balance the surface world with the underwater realm. The story escalates when his half-brother, Orm, the king of Atlantis, seeks to unite the 7 underwater kingdoms to wage war against the surface world. Arthur must embark on a global adventure to retrieve the Trident of Atlan and claim his rightful place as king. The film is visually stunning, depicting the underwater world of Atlantis in great detail, and is considered one of the highest-grossing and most successful standalone DCEU films. Shazam. This movie introduced a fresh, successful, and joyful tonal shift in the DCEU, focusing on a 14-year-old boy named Billy Batson. Billy, who is constantly moving between foster homes, is chosen by an ancient wizard and by saying the word Shazam, transforms into a powerful adult superhero with Superman-like abilities. This film revives the comedic, family-friendly, and lighthearted feel of earlier superhero movies, while still dealing with deep themes like finding family and the importance of true courage. Shazam is a charming story about a boy who suddenly gets every kid's dream and must fight Dr. Sivana, a villain seeking the wizard's power. Birds of Prey. This film is a colorful, high-energy, R-rated adventure, focusing directly on the consequences of Harley Quinn's breakup with the Joker. The story begins as Harley tries to find her new identity outside the Joker's shadow, but suddenly everyone she's ever wronged comes seeking revenge. She's forced to temporarily team up with a group of female heroes and anti-heroes, including Black Canary, Huntress, and Renee Montoya, to save a valuable diamond from the clutches of the ruthless criminal Black Mask. Birds of Prey, with its unique visual style and creative action, establishes Harley Quinn as an independent and capable anti-hero, adding a strong feminist dimension to the DCEU.
The Suicide Squad, 2021. This film, considered a soft reboot for the Suicide Squad team, was made by the famous director James Gunn and has a much more violent, comedic, and surreal tone. The story again shows Amanda Waller dispatching a new, strange group of incarcerated villains on a secret, illegal mission to a South American island, Corto Maltese. This team, which includes survivors like Harley Quinn and new characters like Peacemaker, Ratcatcher 2, and King Shark, must destroy a secret government project called Project Starro. The Suicide Squad, with its insane action, dark humor, and unpredictable deaths, is one of the most critically praised and best-reviewed DCEU films, and it directly led to the spin-off series Peacemaker. Peacemaker Season 1, 2022. This series is the first dedicated DCEU television show, starting immediately after the events of the Suicide Squad, where Christopher Smith, Peacemaker, is forced to join a secret mission called Project Butterfly after his recovery. This mission involves identifying and eliminating alien creatures that have infiltrated human bodies. Peacemaker, with its dark comedy, sharp political satire, and heavy metal soundtrack, explores the troubled life and painful past of the Peacemaker character. The series delves into his trauma and his relationship with his father, White Dragon, questioning the notion of peace at any cost. It also popularized his support team characters and is considered one of the best DCEU DC works due to its high quality. Black Adam 2022. This film focuses on the powerful, ancient hero Teth Adam from the fictional nation of Kahndaq, who is freed in the modern era after nearly 5,000 years of imprisonment. Black Adam is a powerful, godlike figure who is strongly at odds with the traditional laws and ethics of superheroes, as he prefers to use deadly and ruthless methods. The story shows his attempts to save Kahndaq from a criminal organization, but he is forced to confront the heroes of the Justice Society of America, or JSA. This film introduces the JSA team, including Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Cyclone, and Atom Smasher, and further expands the magical world of the DCEU. Black Adam is considered a turning point in introducing morally great characters to this universe due to his display of pure power and disobedience to established heroes. Shazam! Fury of the Gods, 2023. This film is a direct sequel to Shazam and focuses on the challenges faced by Billy Batson and his foster siblings, all of whom now possess the powers of the gods and form the Shazam family. They are still struggling to learn how to properly use their powers while acting as heroes in the modern world. The story escalates when three powerful Greek goddesses, known as the Daughters of Atlas, come to Earth to retrieve the magic stolen from their father. Fury of the Gods is an action-packed, special effects-heavy adventure that explores themes like imposter syndrome in Billy and the importance of maturity and teamwork within the family. This film depicts the final phase of the magical DCEU world before the conclusion of this era.
The Flash. This film is a major multiverse event and a critical endpoint for the DCEU era, focusing on Barry Allen, the Flash. Barry, still grieving his mother's death in childhood, decides to use his time-traveling powers to go back and alter events. However, his interference inadvertently leads to severe changes in the timelines, trapping him in an alternate universe where a different version of himself exists, and General Zod has attacked Earth again. This film features important returns, such as Michael Keaton's Batman and Supergirl, and due to its time travel and alternate reality conflicts, it essentially serves as the final reboot and closing of the DCEU's accounts before the start of the new DCU phase. Blue Beetle. This film introduces one of the youngest and newest heroes of the DCEU, Jaime Reyes, bringing a fresh and distinct tone to the universe. Jaime Reyes, a recent college graduate, accidentally comes across a powerful alien artifact called the Scarab. This Scarab bonds with him, creating an extraordinary mechanical suit and powerful weapons, turning him into Blue Beetle. The story places strong emphasis on Jaime's family and the importance of their support in facing his superhero challenges. Blue Beetle is an origin story centered on culture and family that shows great potential for expanding the new DC world, even though it was released as a standalone film at the end of the DCEU period. And now, as promised, the reason why this universe is so messy and disjointed. Folks, the real reason for this chaos was never the characters or the writers. It was the repeated interference and lack of a central vision. Unlike its main rival, the DCEU never had a single guiding creative leader, like Kevin Feige, overseeing everything. The real mess started after Batman vs. Superman. The studio, instead of trusting the original plans, decided to suddenly change the entire tone of the universe due to negative reviews. The crisis peaked during the production of Justice League 2017, where the studio shelved Zack Snyder's version and rapidly shifted the film's tone from dark and epic to mandatory comedy. This rushed decision meant the films lacked any narrative or tonal consistency, and storylines were abandoned halfway through. Every time a film failed, the studio, instead of learning, completely changed course and performed soft reboots. Ultimately, this internal conflict and lack of stable management is the true source of all the DCEU narrative chaos we witnessed. Well, my friend, now you have the complete order of 14 DCEU films, and you know how to watch this messy universe without getting confused. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you liked it, like it and comment on which movie is your favorite on this list. Subscribe and be sure to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my next video. Until the next guide, peace out.